Interact on the Common Sense Retirement Plan.
The beef deal there, that's usually transmitted through the ticks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Am I correct about that?
Yeah.
The second question I have on the second, if I remember correctly, when I was a kid growing up, if you caught brandishing a firearm, it was like 3 to 5 years. Well, not brandishing, but just possessing. And then if you use that weapon in the commission of a felony, whether you just brandish the firearm or commit a robbery, whatever, it was up to 10 years.
Yeah.
Automatic.
Yeah.
So, and if you used that gun, fired that gun, it was automatic 20 to life.
Yep.
So the 17-year-old, yeah, his name should be plastered.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you know what? We got all these liberal judges and these liberal district attorneys and all these. I mean, and we've seen, and what has happened? You go soft on crime, crime increases every single time.
And with these liberal judges allowing it to continue now, well, I'm sorry, the laws have changed, the kids have changed, and the lack of supervision on the home.
You know what, Vinny, though, I don't know if the laws have actually changed. I think the application of the law is what we have really gotten away from. I want to go to Gerald in Cowpens. Gerald, welcome. How are you?
Hey, Charlie, it's time to open up these chain gang camps again.
I would mind it.
Put the coal stoves back in the buildings. Let these thugs clean these right-of-ways with some sling blades.
That's right.
Let them grow their own food. And I guarantee you, but that'll deter their stupid, what.
Make prison hard. That's what I'm going to get me a red hat. I appreciate it, Gerald. Make prison hard again. That's what it should say. But no, Gerald, you can't have a coal stove. That would be bad for the environment. Let's go to Tom in Pickens. Tom, welcome. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. What's up, man?
Well, speaking of coal and bad for the environment, let's talk about the Weather Channel here for a second. I think they need to rename it the Disaster Channel, because if you spend more than 10 minutes watching that show at any time of the day or night, you will absolutely be depressed beyond belief. They're still into global warming and save the polar bears, and I missed what they did on yesterday, but I can only imagine what they say was going to rain and have locusts or anything.
You know what? You don't know how right you are. I'll get to that story coming up in just a little bit, Tom. I appreciate it. Let's go to Alan in Easley. Alan, welcome.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm good, man. What's going on?
I thought I heard you say they was dropping ticks from airplanes. Is that true?
Helicopters.
Helicopters?
Yes.
And they're really doing that?
They're really doing that, yeah. They're dropping boxes full of ticks. Now, what they're saying is these ticks are specially genetically modified ticks, so when they mate, their offspring just die. So when an infected tick, when a modified tick, isn't it weird? It's very weird. And you got to look at people like Bill Gates and all of that stuff that are behind this. Everybody at the World Economic Forum, Alan, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, that's like a real thing. It is happening. Now, it may be just and then we find out Bill Gates, he wants to do the same thing with mosquitoes. He released for what is it? I can never remember. Is it typhoid or malaria? Bill Gates released a bunch of genetically modified mosquitoes in Florida and Louisiana. Guess where they had spikes of malaria? Florida, Louisiana. And now they want to do the same thing out in California. They want to use mosquitoes and let the mosquitoes inject you. That's the weird thing. All right, when we get back, I'll tell you what the Weather Center did with the America 250 celebration. You're not going to believe it. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
When he's not mowing his yard, he's mowing down liberal nonsense. It's the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Charlie.
Let's talk.
It's the right talk. Charlie. Welcome. This is the Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking.
News Talk 98.9.
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
America is back.
Yep. Little bruised, little battered, but we are back with the big America 250 celebration taking place this weekend at the White House. And oh, did you know, and this is not going to surprise you, did you know a judge tried to stop it? No joke. A judge tried to stop all of the festivities. It's just unbelievable. These judges think they can just come in, and judges believe that they rule everything. They really do. That's the arrogance of a judge. You ever met a judge? I knew a girl in college whose father was a judge. His wife, there's no joke, his wife referred to him as the judge. She, the daughter, referred to him as the judge. Everybody had to refer to him as the judge. That's the arrogance of judges, but there you go. Okay, so how many events did we have here in the United States this weekend? Oh, we had College World Series going on. We had soccer going on. We had all kinds of sporting events everywhere going on this weekend. Now, some of those sporting events, they were affected by maybe some inclement weather. I got rained on yesterday. I was playing golf, went out to the preserve at Verde. Between the second and the third, second green and the third tee, skies just opened up. Sat there for about 15 minutes, let that pass, went on. But it was everywhere. But I have never seen a write-up for an event like the one that the Weather Channel did for Freedom 250. You want to hear it? Here it is. I'm going to read it to you as dramatically as they wanted you to read it. Here we go. UFC Freedom 250 is facing a chaotic weather setup on the White House South Lawn with a 60% chance of thunderstorms, heavy downpours, and wind gusts up to 34 miles an hour, threatening to delay the outdoor fights. On top of the storm risk, brutal DC humidity is driving a triple-digit heat index alongside massive swarms of mosquitoes and gnats that fighters will have to battle inside the cage, while the venue's massive 92-foot overhang will keep the octagon dry. A single lightning strike within 8 miles will trigger an automatic 30-minute freeze on the entire event. I've never, ever, ever seen the Weather Channel post something like that. It's like they were like, how could, this is how they talk to the Weather Channel. So I was wondering, Trump's got this 250 a UFC thing going on at the White House, and there's a chance of rain. How can we make sure nobody goes to it? And maybe how can we scare them away so they don't show up and it doesn't look like a big success for Trump? Anybody got any ideas? Anybody got any ideas? Any Weather Channel? Yes, I have an idea. Why don't we tell people it's basically the end of the world? Oh, I like it. That's a good idea. Thanks, Clarence. That's awesome. That's what they did. That's literally, somebody had to green light that mess. Trying to, hell, the only thing they didn't put up there is a tornado or a hurricane. I should have threw some hail in there. Just to let it know, while hail will pummel. There you go. So I literally have never seen anything like that in my life coming from the Weather Channel. Even when there's a dramatic event coming. Charlie, Liz Contour shows up from the Weather Channel. Nobody gives a rat about it, but maybe, I don't know what he's talking about. Charlie, let's see. Charlie, my best friend's the head of global security for the UFC. He said the weather was beautiful, breezy, zero bugs, a perfect evening, right? Exactly. But you got to admit, with all that was going on, this was the highlight of the night.
And lastly, Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America? Ladies and gentlemen.
It was absolutely beautiful. Let's go to Brad and Taylor's. Brad, welcome.
Unless Jim Couture shows up, nobody cares what the Weather Channel says.
Isn't that the truth? If Jim Cantore shows up and he's wearing a really tight shirt, you know something's going on. You know something's going on. You're right about that, Brad. I appreciate it. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Streaming stimulating talk and breaking news on your phone 24/7 on the Odyssey app. You're on the drive with the Charlie James Show.
News Talk 98.9
98.9
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Charlie speaks, you listen on your time. Get the show on demand. Text podcast to 800-905-0989. The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, we got some breaking news out of Edwards Air Force Base.
I want to take you out to California, Edwards Air Force Base in Kern County, California. That base has put out the following alert, and it reads like this. A United States Air Force B-52 Stratofortress, that's a huge plane, crashed shortly after takeoff on the Edwards Airfield, 11:20 a.m. We assume that to be Pacific time, which would have been just about an hour ago. The statement continues. Emergency crews immediately responded to the scene. Situation's ongoing. More information will be provided as it becomes available. So you can see there that charred runway, that tarmac in Kern County, California. What we don't know is how many people might have been on board.
Well, we got some updated information. What we're hearing is from one source that there were 5 people on board, no survivors in that B-52 Stratofortress crash out at Edwards Air Force Base. So we'll see what happens. Of course, that's not been confirmed. That's just one source saying that. So we will wait till the official determination of that. WORD talk line, 800-9050-989. That's also the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. Well, we've got the big debate coming up tomorrow night between Pamela Yvette and Alan Wilson to find out who is going to be the GOP nominee and ultimately will be the next governor of South Carolina. It's going to be an interesting debate tomorrow night because Pamela Yvette seems to have gone on the, I don't want to say the defensive, but more the offensive as far as some of the campaigns that she's putting out. And this morning, Ralph Norman has officially made an endorsement.
Over the past several days, I've carefully looked at both candidates. I've talked with them, and I've considered who is best for the future of our great state of South Carolina. The person that will cut wasteful spending, the person that will lower our taxes, fix our roads, the person who will empower our small businesses and which are the lifeline of this great state, and move South Carolina in a more conservative direction, which is definitely what we need. Today, I'm excited to announce my complete endorsement of Attorney General Alan Wilson.
All right, that was a much sought after and much wanted endorsement from Congressman Ralph Norman going for Attorney General Alan Wilson. There's a poll out that says that Alan Wilson, according to this poll of probable voters, or we'll say likely voters, Alan Wilson leads Pamela Yvette 52-36 among likely Republicans. 13% of those still remain undecided. That's from NPA polling. And little caveat here, we always have to mention this. This polling was paid for by Alan Wilson's campaign. This is from Fitz News. Among Wilson supporters, 38% indicated that they were definitely voting for him, compared to 14% who said they were probably going to vote for him. Yvette's supporters, 23% were definitely going to vote for her. 12% say they were probably going to do so. We still got 13% undecided out there. But all of this was done before the Ralph Norman endorsement. Okay? So we did a little poll the other night. Let me just see if I can find. No, let me see here. Hold on. Got to go see if I can find the results of our poll that we did the other night. Who are you running for governor? 91%. We had almost, we had 398 total votes. 91% said Alan Wilson. 9% said Pamela Yvette. So we'll see if that pans out. Now, we're still waiting for some of these other polls. Now, this might be one of those situations where you might not see a lot of polls because polling takes time, it takes money. So there you go. We'll see what happens with this. But again, Pamela Yvette got some attack ads going on out there against Alan Wilson, and we'll see what happens. But We got another one. Oh, by the way, that's not the only race that's coming up a week from tomorrow. We're also going to be having the Attorney General's race against Stephen Goldfinch and David Stumbo in that one. You guys know where I stand on that. I'm voting for Stumbo again because of all of those candidates. He was the one that I didn't have any questions about. I had absolutely no questions. With David Pascoe, you know the questions we asked about him. Lifetime Democrat comes along. All of a sudden he says a Republican. All of a sudden he's going to run for Attorney General. Had to just think, but because what does AG stand for? What is it? You think it stands for Attorney General. What it really stands for is aspiring governor. And that's the road to the governorship. So you could just imagine that Pascoe might have had the eyes on that governor's seat. But then again, you get Goldfinch, and people wonder what the heck he's done other than join, others, Larry Grooms, in going after Curtis Loftus. I mean, he was like, it was him and Grooms. They were in cahoots. So my thought was that might be the only reason he's really running. No, but we'll see. We'll see. You go to the polls. A week from tomorrow, early voting starts on Wednesday. It's going to be 2 days of early voting, Wednesday and Thursday. That's the 17th and 18th. Wednesday and Thursday, there will be no voting, early voting on the 19th because it's a federal holiday. It's Juneteenth. So there'll be no early voting on that day. But Wednesday and Thursday, early voting, starts, I believe, at 8:30 to 5. It's either 8 or 8:30 to 5. The line shouldn't be long at all, but make sure you get out there and vote in the next in this runoff. And we've got others as well. I mean, your district might be having a runoff as well. Charlie, I know who I'm going to vote for, but I'm okay with pulling the lever for either one of them. Ted and Pelzer, there you go. Let's see. Anyway, there you go. There you go. That's what we got. But we got all that coming up. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll talk a little bit more about the Freedom 250 that happened at the White House this weekend. Also, JD, can you believe what's going to happen tomorrow? J.D. Vance, are you ready for this? Is going on The View. That's right. He's going to be sitting down with the biddies on The View. We'll tell you about that coming up in just a few minutes. And we'll talk more about that Iranian deal. Of course, that's one of the big news stories of the day. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour, every afternoon on The Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Let your fingers do the talking.
Text the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line at 800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Had somebody over on the WRD, on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, said, I'm not voting for any of them because they violated the do not call list. Oh, well, there's a little thing there. Political calls and nonprofit calls are exempt from the do not call list. I know you thought, just like I thought when I signed up for the do not call list, you thought that meant everybody, but it doesn't. Political calls and nonprofits are exempt. Let's go to Donna in Anderson. Donna, welcome.
Hey, Charlie, you're the best.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. What's
your
up?
Personality. Hey, a couple of things I wanted to bring up. One was Trump's administration agreement with Iran.
Yeah.
I really think that they all agreed to this. It was clearly a team. Because it's hitting our economy really hard.
Yeah.
I'm okay with outlasting it, but I really think it hurts too many people. I mean, groceries and gas and all that are killer. And so I think economy-wise, and he didn't want to be in this forever war. Now, here's the deal with these people. I'm not his top experts, but I do know a lot about them versus just average, okay? So, but again, I respect their level of expertise, clearly. These are the most rigid, evil terrorist funders globally.
Yep.
They believe and are waiting for the 12th caliphate, the final imam. This is it. They will never give this up. So what they will do, and you can call me on it in 20 years, I don't care, is that they will get every little bit. They're always playing you. They are never honest. They will get every little bit they can, and as soon as they reach critical mass on money or ability, I don't want them giving them the money, they will go back to nuclear and they will fund terrorism. There is no question about it unless they wipe them all out. How do you do that if you've got terrorists coming in from Lebanon and Syria and so forth? How can you possibly do that?
Okay, well, here's what I think is happening with President Trump. I believe he's going to get them at the table in Switzerland, in front of the world, have them sign the agreement with all the world watching, and then when they violate the agreement, he's going to say, all right, now can we finish business?
Yes, that is brilliant. I think you're right, and he's so wise about holding, giving, and I love the part when he said about, okay, you go ahead and bomb the other countries, we'll just take it out of your bank accounts over there.
Yeah,
Isn't
easy
that
to do.
awesome?
It is awesome.
May I put in a word or two about somebody here in Anderson? We have a runoff.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it, honey. Sherry Hodges is running against Don Chapman. She is a true constitutional person. She's not establishment. Don Chapman, as you know, was censured by the Republican Party for doing a lot of voting and funding of Democrats and so forth. He voted to eliminate the zero income tax. There's a lot of people that hurts.
Yeah.
Now it's 2.5%. Those people are scraping by. And then he also voted for the 1% tax increase. Sherry would vote no against those. He also voted to not criminalize the doctors for surgically altering the kids without telling the parents.
Right.
So I won't go into the whole list, but we need to get rid of the establishment. We need to have people that will cut and stop spending eternal taxes. This woman is dynamite. We did a great job in Anderson cleaning out some of the county council. I was thrilled at the lower levels that we're able to do it. And we really have to clean out South Carolina's House Assembly. We need to have more constitutional freedom-loving people, and Sherry Hodges is it. So I'm really, as you can tell, really, really need her over the establishment.
Well, I agree with you, Donna. I appreciate it. People always talking about, what are we going to do about Columbia? Here's the one thing you got to do about Columbia. Stop sending the same people back to Columbia. That's the best way to do it. All right. Here we go. Charlie, hopefully he does exactly as you described, Charlie. Only one problem. I hope there's a waiting period of maybe a year before he pulls in Obama and delivers pallets of money to the airport. They actually went out. Of course, they had to hunt down Obama. I don't know where they found him. I don't know if it was at Martha's Vineyard or Hawaii or, his brownstone in Chicago. But they found Obama, and Obama's like, well, I don't see any difference in this deal and the deal I made. Well, you made no deal. There was no deal with Obama. It's just sending them cash. That's all you did. There was no agreement. There was nothing signed. There was absolutely nothing. Let's go to Dean in Cashville. Dean, welcome.
Charlie, something you said just now resonated with what I've heard about when you said that getting someone to sit down in front of the world and sign a paper. At Pearl Harbor,
Yep.
the Japanese, what they wanted to do, their goal was to have their ambassador deliver a declaration of war about half an hour before they hit Pearl Harbor.
Yep.
Which, well, they would have still hit it, but it would have, and that didn't work out. But there's a reason that they wanted to do that. It changes optics, can change so much, and I just wanted to chime in because, like everybody, Charlie knows what he's talking about. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Dean. And he's exactly right. I mean, the the Japanese delegation, they were still in Washington. They were still in Washington when the planes were bombing Pearl Harbor. And, of course, back then we didn't have all the communications that we have now. We'd have known about it real time. But back then it took a long time for us to get that information because you can imagine what things were like at Pearl Harbor during that time, pretty chaotic. So, yeah, what they were trying to do is put us at ease. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So, Charlie, is it your job to endorse candidates or be a conservative station for all? Well, here's what, I mean, would you have a problem? People always say, well, Charlie, how can you endorse somebody? Well, I'll tell you how. Did you have a problem with me endorsing Donald Trump? No? No? So same thing. Exactly the same thing. I can choose and I can say who I would like to run for or win an office. I'm sorry. That's just JJ wonders if it all falls on the conservative umbrella. I don't know. Some are more conservative than others. Some aren't. So let's go to Steve in Pickens. Steve, welcome. How are you, sir?
I'm fine.
Yes.
I'd like to say I agree with the texter. I'm tired
which
of
one?
The one about the phone calls and the text messages.
Yeah.
I'm about ready to start voting Democrat because they're the ones that don't pester the fire out of me.
Well, wait a minute. You start voting Democrat, and they will pester the fire out of you. This isn't just Republicans doing it. The only reason that the Republicans are getting in touch with you is because you're on their voter list. The Democrats are getting the same thing on their side.
I mean, you block one number and they call you from another.
Yeah, I know, Steve. I appreciate it, buddy. But speaking of that, finally, after about 9 months, the calls about me and my taxes have pretty much come to an end. I guess hanging up on them, probably 1,000 times. They hey, this is so-and-so from the Tax Relief Federation, and we know that, listen, hey, I'm not sure of a lot of things in life, but I guarantee you this, my taxes are paid. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
This is Mark Levin. Join me tonight at 7 following Charlie James for the Mark Levin Show, a News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
text, or call. One number does it all.
800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go to Ann and Pauline. Ann, are you getting those text messages? How many you got?
I get over 150 a day.
Oh, my word. That's a lot.
I donated.
Oh, there you go. And then, see, that's the thing. That'll keep people from donating.
Well, I donated everything I could donate.
Yeah.
And now I just I send them a nasty text back.
So that's
You know,
amazing.
You can't get blood from a turnip. Y'all know better than call me.
What's the matter with you? I gave all I could. I appreciate
right.
it. Yeah, thank you. And let's go to Larry in Cleveland County. How you doing, Larry?
I'm doing great, sir. Hey, I hate to call you on your time of sorrow because I know you're so sad that we're making the left excited because of our wins and our successes. But I got a question for you. Can you pull up that soundbite with Robert De Niro trashing our country with the rest of his cronies, saying how much he hates us and he wants to leave, or he didn't say he wanted to leave. I wish he would, but
yeah,
I don't know if it happened today. Probably the same time we succeeded. That's their way of being negative. You know, have you heard the soundbite?
No, I just saw it. It popped up on my X account. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm going to have to listen to it and see how many, expletives I'm going to have to edit out of that. But I'll take a look at that, Larry. I appreciate it. Byron in Bowling Springs. How you doing, Byron?
Very good, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir. What's up?
My question is this. Since I understand we're going to sign this agreement between the U.S. and Iran on Friday,
Yes.
Is that agreement going to be submitted to the U.S. Senate as a treaty for ratification?
That I don't know. There is one part of the agreement, and I can't remember which part it is, but that's going to have to be submitted. I'm drawing a blank on exactly which part that is, but I'm sure if there's any part that needs to be in there, that will happen. Do you think they're going to be able to get 2/3?
Well, they didn't do it with Obama.
Right.
Republican senator from the state of Tennessee, who was in charge of the Foreign Relations Committee at the time, let it go through as a bill, just a bill through Congress.
Yeah.
Instead of a treaty that had to be ratified by the Senate per the Constitution.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm not sure. Let me double check on that, and I'll comment on that in a little bit. We'll see. Let's go to Charles in Hickory County. How you doing, Charles?
I'm doing just fine, sir. How are you?
I'm fantastic. What's up?
I was wanting to talk about the gentleman that you have that screens your calls. I just want to let you know he is very polite and he is very knowledgeable. He helped me out not too long ago with what I was needing to know about voting and everything. I said, well, I don't have to get online. You can help me. But I just want to let you know, you need to praise him a lot more, and because he's a real fine gentleman, very soft-spoken, and I mean, just a real nice guy,
Yeah, I agree, Charles. JJ and John, my producer, I'm just so happy with my. Now, JJ, you weren't supposed to be listening to that. You're supposed to be doing other things. You cannot hear people sing your praises. Next thing you know, he'll be wanting, his own office and his own parking space. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh, really? Really? He said when he tells people he's JJ from the Charlie James Show, people's faces just light up. That's very sweet. I appreciate that. Okay, what else we got going on here? Okay, so there was another. Now, we all know last night at UFC Freedom 250, the guy that said, Michelle Obama's a man. But there was another guy, a 6-1 underdog, Justin Gaethje. I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm sorry. Justin Gaethje. But I want you to listen to what this guy had to say after the fight. And this is really what it was all about.
You have been waiting for this moment your entire career, and to win it in such a spectacular fashion in a fight where you were in some points 6-1 underdog. How good does this feel?
Hey, I'm from America. 250 years ago, we were way bigger than 6-1 dogs. And look at us thriving now. To all the current, former, and future military service members, thank you so much. Thank you so much to all the first responders, the police officers, firefighters, ambulance, EMTs. You guys have no idea how grateful I am. And for as long as I'm able to, I will use my name to make money and support you guys. First and foremost, thank you. And all glory to God, I prayed so much for this opportunity to do something legendary. And I know that was absolutely legendary because I cannot even believe it.
It was just, that's what it was all about. That's what it was all about. Meanwhile, what were the Democrats doing? What were the libs doing?
No one is getting left behind.
Yeah, that was,
No one is getting
they were singing badly again. Oh, boy. All right, we'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
When the left spins, Charlie sets it straight. It's the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Hey, Charlie.
Let's talk.
It's the right talk. Charlie. Welcome. This is the Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking.
News Talk 98.9.
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, welcome back to the program. Something is, oh, by the way, before we get to that, Iran says that 5 ships has made it through the blockade as lifting takes effect. That is definitely good news. Something is happening tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to let the biddies on The View tell you.
This will be one of many questions that we're going to be asking our guest on Tuesday. We are going to be joined at the table by Vice President J.D. Vance. We'll be right back.
J.D. Vance. So my question is, are they going to bring this up? Because remember, if you go back to 2024, this is what Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar said. Let's take a listen.
Who is in charge? Because I've been saying it for a while.
Yes, you have.
I've been saying that I think Elon Musk believes he's president. I do.
Well, you've been calling him vice president.
I've called him vice president. I called him president because I don't know what JD is doing. I hardly ever say. I don't remember the last time we even talked about JD.
You're right. He's planning the presidency when they get rid of Trump.
So you think it's Musk Vance?
Possible.
Hey, you know who? Stay away from the stairways. Because, people put the leg out to trip you going down the stairs. Why?
Yeah. I wonder if you'll bring that up. Whoopi Goldberg. Probably not. Now, here's what they're thinking. Here's what Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, all those women on The View, here's what they're thinking. They're thinking they're going to take J.D. Vance to the woodshed. That's what they are thinking. But what they need to do is go back and remember when J.D. Vance sat across from Kristen Welker on Meet the Press, this back in August of 2024. This dude does not dodge questions. Back then, he was embroiled in the whole cat lady scandal. Remember that? The cat lady comments that he made? He pushed back. He pushed back where he disagreed. He explained in broader arguments, not just little sound bites. He's good at shifting the conversation towards families, affordability, the pressures that Americans are facing in building their lives. And J.D. Vance has become a fantastic vice president. He's not going on The View unprepared. We've seen him on all of these interviews where they always try to try to do a gotcha question with J.D. Vance. That ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. So, it's tomorrow. You want to talk about a UFC fight? Tomorrow, it's J.D. Vance versus the fake news. And the fake news is going to fall. There's no way. You couldn't. If you put all those women on The View together, Sonny Hostin, Joy Behar, Whoopi, Alyssa Farah, anybody else they got on the dais, they don't have an IQ point between them. J.D. Vance is going to run circles, but you also got to remember, what are they going to allow to air? What do they got? It's going to be interesting to see. That's going to be a very interesting conversation between J.D. Vance and the biddies on The View tomorrow. We will see where that goes. So, by the way, Pete Buttigieg. One of the things that we've been telling you about, for months now, has been what the Democrats plan to do. And I don't know why John Thune, and you have to, all right, well, hold on. What I meant to say was, John Thune does not want to be the Senate majority leader. That's not the job he wants. John Thune wants to be the Senate minority leader. Just this past weekend, I believe it was Saturday night, maybe it was I think it was Saturday night, they put the kibosh on putting the Save America Act forward on one of the bills. They said, no, we're not going to do it. The Republicans did that. The Republicans blocked it. So what they are actually voting for, these Murkowski, you got Mitch McConnell, he did that right before he went to the hospital. By the way, Mitch McConnell's in the hospital. So you got Murkowski, you got McConnell, you've got, what's her name, Susan Collins up in Maine. Of course, you got all these others. They're blocking. What they're doing is they're saying, we think it's completely okay for people to vote and not have to prove that they're an American citizen. They're okay with that. Now, what should John Thune be doing? And we're going to talk about this coming up in just a few minutes. How should John Thune be? He should do something about this, because when the Democrats get back in power, Pete Buttigieg has just said exactly what they want to do. They want to put 4 more liberal Supreme Court justices on the bench. 4 more. That's what he wants to do. And it's not just him. Buttigieg said, we have to do something with the Supreme Court that is now a rogue Supreme Court. To see them eviscerate the Voting Rights Act is to see them reverse some of the most important progress this country has ever made, wiping out black political representation, but also wiping out part of what actually is great within the complex American story. So they're going to try to put 4 more Supreme Court justices. And unless John Thune starts acting like he's got a pair, they're going to get the chance. The Senate's going to win back the midterms. They're going to investigate. They're going to impeach. I know that has a start in the House, but we'll see what happens with it. There's going to be hearings after hearings, all because John Thune is in some sort of a pissing match with Donald Trump. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Hey, this is Tara. Start your day with common sense information and opinion with me on The Tara Show tomorrow morning, starting at 6. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Charlie Speaks. You listen on your time. Get the show on demand. Text podcast to 800-905-0989. The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, welcome back to the program. So, how do we get anything done in the Senate? First of all, remember when Lindsey Graham was running those ads about, he's got a bill that's going to make sanctuary cities illegal. Well, you knew, I knew, Lindsey Graham knew, that bill wasn't going anywhere. There was no way that bill was going to pass the 60-vote threshold. So he could say, you could put up any bill in the world. You could put any bill you wanted there. Well, I've got a bill where we're going to pave the streets with gold. Put that up there. Who cares? It's not going to pass. Nothing is getting through. The Senate, nothing of substance, nothing no good conservative bills are going through. Donald Trump has signed less than 40 bills in this presidency, the second term of his presidency, under 40 bills. Amazing. Because John Thune will not do what a leader does. John Thune is not a leader. Let me tell you let me tell you what Senate Majority Leader Charlie James would do. We've got midterm elections coming up. And there are people out there that want things. And one of those people is somebody named Lisa Murkowski from Alaska. Lisa Murkowski wants to head up a committee. And this is true. She does want to head up a committee. I just can't remember which committee she wants to head up. But she really wants to head up this committee. Well, if I were John Thune, I would say, look, Lisa, let me tell you something. You know that Save America Act? If you don't get on board with that act, there's no way that you're going to head up. I'm not appointing you to that committee. In fact, if you don't get in on all of this, I'm not going to put you on any committee of any sort of substance whatsoever. You're just going to be another senator, and nobody's going to ever hear from you again. You don't get the extra money from being on the committee. You don't get all of that. You don't get the benefits. You don't get the perks. If you're not on a committee, you don't get invited to all the parties. You're done. That's what a leader does. You either get on board or you become irrelevant. And the last thing a member of the Senate wants is to become irrelevant. Of course, we do have one here in South Carolina that seems not to mind being irrelevant, but there you go. You got to play hardball with these people. You got to play hardball with them. So there's an investigation going on. Listen to this. This is posted by Gavin Newsom. Listen to this. This is pretty amazing.
In recent days, federal agents have knocked on the doors of family, friends, and former employees. Not because they found a crime, because they're simply trying to find one. They're demanding records. They're abusing the grand jury process, digging through years and years of random documents. Donald Trump isn't just coming after me because of my mean tweets. He's coming after me because I'm considering running for president, because he hates that I've consistently called him out over and over again for his lies and deceit. Donald Trump is simply the most corrupt president in American history. He's turned the levers of government into his own personal power ministries to reward cronies and to try to jail his opponents. His personal attorney now runs the Department of Justice, which has repeatedly gone after his political enemies. Ask Jerome Powell. Sent them after James Comey, Tish James, Adam Schiff. He sent them after Tim Walz, and a woman that a jury found Donald Trump had sexually abused. One by one, anyone who has challenged.
That wasn't true. The jury did not find Donald Trump guilty of sexual abuse. The jury found him guilty of it wasn't perjury, slander. That's why E. Jean Carroll did. But anyway, that doesn't matter. This is Gavin Newsom. Truth is it. But did you hear what he said? I mean, if you go back and you just think this isn't Gavin Newsom, but you think that this is Donald John Trump just a couple of years ago. Listen.
In recent days, federal agents have knocked on the doors of family, friends, and former employees.
Huh. They did that to Donald Trump.
Not because they found a crime, because they're simply trying to find one.
Huh. They did that to Donald Trump.
They're demanding records. They're abusing the grand jury process.
Huh. They did that to Donald Trump.
Digging through years and years of random documents.
Huh. They did that to Donald Trump.
Donald Trump isn't just...
Yeah. Oh, when the shoe is on the other foot is not so comfortable, is it? Gavin Newsom. I don't remember Gavin Newsom coming out against Jack Smith or Letitia James or Big Fannie Willis or Alvin Bragg. I don't remember anybody defending Donald Trump over on the left for that. I don't remember Gavin Newsom speaking out when they raided Mar-a-Lago and then posted fake pictures of all the papers. No, it's classified. Every piece of paper that they put on the floor there in Mar-a-Lago, they put a classified document cover letter on top of it to make you think that he had all these classified documents, which wasn't true. What they're looking for, Gavin Newsom, is the unbelievable amount of fraud that has been going on in your state. Number one, the high-speed rail system that has not been completed to the tune of about $700 million, American taxpayer dollars. What they're looking for, Gavin Newsom, is where all that money for homelessness went. What they're looking for is just how much fraud is going on in your state. And, folks, it is a lot of fraud. So Gavin Newsom comes out. Now, he's the victim. Of course he is, because he's a liberal and he's got to be the victim at all times. Well, good. I hope they find him. And, like they went after Tim Walz for no reason whatsoever? Tim Walz's administration in Minnesota pressured people not to talk about all of the fraud that was going on, and they threatened them that if they did, they were going to call them racist, and they were going to call them, xenophobes and all of this stuff. And in Minnesota, that's just not a good thing. That's why they're going after him, because they knew about all the fraud that was going on in Minnesota, and they allowed it to happen. Same thing with California. Gavin Newsom. So, again, shoe not quite as comfortable when it is on the other foot. Let's see. Charlie, it makes absolutely no sense for Republicans not to vote to almost guarantee victory for them now until forever. Well, they will. Yeah, absolutely. Once the Democrats get back in office, the entire Senate changes. And all those rules, all those old, everything that they cling to, all of those traditions, they're going to go by the wayside. They will. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour on The Charlie James Show. Afternoons 3 to 7 on News Talk 98.9
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Type your message on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line.
800-905-0989. This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
So President Trump turned 80 yesterday, and we got two stories, one from the New York Post and one from the New York Times. One by Miranda Devine and one from Katie Rogers. Listen to the headlines. This is New York Post, Miranda Devine. Ageless President Trump keeps on winning at 80 and laughs in the face of his naysayers. Let's take a look on New York Times. Trump at 80, a president really uncomfortable with aging. Even for a president known for imposing his own reality on every situation, Mr. Trump has not outrun scrutiny over his age. Wait a minute, hold on. These are the same people that said that Joe Biden was sharp as a tack. Never been better. Oh, he's so vibrant. Remember Karine Jean-Pierre? Oh, let's go. Let's harken back to those days. Remember Jen Psaki? Joe Biden is so vital. He's so vibrant. He's virile. He's practically oozing with virility. Not so much. So let's take it. This is Miranda Devine. Ageless President Trump keeps on winning at 80. The president says Joe Biden gave old age a bad name, and he's right. Despite the continuing gaslighting and outright denials from the Biden family and their few remaining acolytes, it was obvious there was something very wrong with Biden's brain even before he started his first and only term as president at the age of 78. We all know 80 or even 90-year-olds who, through good genes or good management, are as sharp and vital as people of a younger generation. Trump appears to be so blessed, laughing in the face of malicious campaign to portray him as senile by the same pundits who turned a blind eye to Biden's cognitive collapse. He says he feels better than ever, and his most recent medical checkup found him to be in exceptional health with the cardiac age of a 65-year-old while managing a punishing workload. I mean, look what he did yesterday. He was there for that UFC Freedom 250 all day, into the night. This guy was there. Then he gets on a plane, and he flies all the way across the ocean during the night, goes to the G7, and he's there and he's sharp as a tack. Joe Biden could not have done any of those things on their own, much less combine them together. So then, now let's go to the New York Times, Paul, and just listen to this. He stays up late at night. This is from Katie Rogers. He stays up late at night, phoning lawyers and lawmakers while posting up to 150 times a night on Truth Social. His mornings involve calls with world leaders about the war in the Middle East or talks with landscapers about replanting a bothersome tree. When he arrives in the Oval Office, his unstructured days unfold like a time-lapse video, with people zipping around him as he stays seated in the center of the frame. As President Trump turns 80 on Sunday, he is so intent on projecting an image of relentless energy that he has installed a massive mixed martial arts octagon on the South Lawn to mark the occasion. After watching the fight, Mr. Trump will depart Washington in the middle of the night and cross the ocean for a diplomatic summit in France. It is a schedule that seems devised to ward off questions about age and stamina as he begins his 9th decade. Listen to what they did. You took all of these things, all of this laundry list of all that Donald Trump does during the day, and then they go, well, he's just doing this because he's trying to prove that he doesn't want you to know he's 80. Good night. Good night. Good gracious. And then she goes, June 4th, during an hour-long appearance in the Oval Office, Mr. Trump leaned to the side in his chair, closing his eyes for a few seconds as Lee Zeldin, the administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency, spoke about the importance of coal. Literally, he closed his eyes for a few seconds. Earlier this month, Legions of online observers speculated as they had before that Mr. Trump was ailing when his public schedule contained no public events for nearly a week, a streak that began just after a physical exam at Walter Reed. That's BS. That's BS. So, oh my goodness, they're crazy. All right, let's go to Christina in Travelers Rest. Christina, how you doing?
I'm okay. I hope you haven't permanently labeled me as a doomsayer. Anyway,
Hold on, Christina. JJ, permanently label Christina as a doomsayer. Okay. All right, there you go. Now that's taken care of. What's up?
So I asked JJ to research this, but he probably didn't have time. Both WORD, both at the 5 o'clock and the 5:30 news, it was strictly local news. But I swear that earlier when I heard Rob Davis reading the news, I don't know whether it was, Fox News or whatnot, I swear that I heard him say that the powers that be, whoever they are in Iran now, have said that unless their seized assets are released, they're not showing up to sign anything.
Well,
I swear I heard him read that.
That I did not hear. But if they don't. There's no agreement. Bombing starts.
Well,
Bob's your uncle.
So there's only two items. There's only two items: opening the Strait of Hormuz and a yet another 60-day ceasefire. Wink, wink. During which time it will give them the ability to negotiate for anything else. It was only those two items. Those two items. So,
actually, I'm hearing it's more like 5 items, but okay.
So then my question is, when has Iran ever allowed any uranium enrichment inspectors in there?
They haven't.
When? That's right. So what are they going to do? Send Franklin Graham in there to get all this enriched stuff and to inspect? So that's my question, doomsayer that I am.
Yeah.
But, like I said, it's only those two items. It's only those two items. Everything else was going to be negotiated during yet another 60-day ceasefire. All these G7 people are happy because the Strait of Hormuz being opened. Anyway, so I have a totally other question to ask you.
Okay.
Regarding affordability.
Yes.
Whose dictate is it? Whose rule is it that says for the Consumer Price Index they exclude energy and food?
Let me explain that. The reason they exclude those is because those are things you're always going to have to buy no matter how much they cost.
But why? How? Who dictates that?
I don't know. I don't know how that came to be, but that is the reason they don't include energy and they don't include food because you got to eat and you got to go to work.
But it's totally ridiculous.
Oh, well, that's the way they've been doing it since they've been doing it, Christina. So we'll see what happens. Got to hit a break here. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
When nasty weather strikes, stay in the know with the upstate's largest staff of meteorologists 24/7 on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas. Chat with Charlie.
800-905-0989. Save it on your phone.
This is the Charlie James Show, only on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
It really kind of, I don't know, it frustrates me a little bit, but I just find it more interesting about human nature than anything that all of a sudden that all of these, no matter what the issue is, doesn't matter what it is, people that know nothing about the issue all of a sudden become experts. They've never worked in the industry. They've never been in that particular situation. They've never, but they know exactly. And y'all know, you hear them, Charlie, let me tell you what they need to do. And I was like, oh, okay. Tell me what they need to do. Let me tell you how they ought to handle this. It's so much more complicated than that, especially when you talk about what's going on. If there is anything geopolitically, geoeconomically, that is complex, there has never been a more complex situation than the one going on in the Middle East, and it's been that way for 47 years. No, actually, we can go back about 800 years, actually. It's always been complicated. It's always been difficult. And people have, by and large, failed a lot. So now we get a president that's trying to actually do something about the Middle East. Take the world's #1 state sponsor of terror and reduce them to just another country. You see, they've always been there. They've been looming. They've been that dark cloud over Mordor for 47 years now. And again, some say much longer than that. But they've been there. They've always been a threat. Whenever any terrorist attack happened around the world, chances are Iran was behind it. And I'll tell you what, chances are that when you heard about a terror attack, your first thought was Iran. What did Iran do now? So let's just see, how many terrorist attacks, attacks have there been in the past 47 years? Let's see. I'm typing this in real time. Let's see. The past 47 years. You're going to be astounded by this number. You're going to be astounded. It is from 1970 to 2020. There were 210,000 terrorist attacks. If you go from 1979 to 2025, 180,000. That's a lot of terror that's been going on. And primarily, those attacks were caused by Iran, either by Iran or their proxies. So there's always been this threat. And what they're talking about doing is actually eliminating this threat. And but people out there are like, oh, they're not doing this right. Listen, I want you to listen to Pete Hegseth over on Face the Nation.
By the way, I think your viewers need to remember, Project Freedom never stopped, and we've run 125 million barrels of oil through the Straits, and Iran couldn't do anything about it. Yeah. How many ships from Iran have transited our blockade? Zero. We have controlled the Straits this entire time.
Right,
this
but you're going to negotiate with them to
immediately and gradually.
Reopen it. So
she's just very upset about that. We have been in control. We are in control. And we are not giving up control. Period. So just understand that. I mean, don't have some faith. I mean, you guys, a lot of people out there are like, oh, Charlie, these tariffs are making us money hand over fist. Every time Donald Trump tries to do something groundbreaking, people always criticize him, but dang if it doesn't work out. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Breaking news and what to make of it all with me, Mike Gallagher, tomorrow 10 to noon, right after Tara on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Yeah.
Hey, Charlie.
Let's talk.
It's the right talk. Charlie. Welcome. This is the Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking.
News Talk 98.9.
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Here's what we need to do. We need to do. I mean, all these artists that aren't going to be at the July 4th celebration, forget about those people. Who cares about those people? These are self-entitled, Hollywood types. Who really cares what they think? We have got a lot of people in this country right now from all corners of the globe. I know, weird saying, but there you go. From everywhere. People are coming to the United States. And I don't know what they were expecting when they got here. But I'll tell you right now, they are loving it. They are loving what they're seeing. I want you to listen to this guy. He's from Great Britain.
I'm absolutely in shock. I made this account a month ago showing a British perspective of life in America. And the amount of messages and the amount of support that I have received from Americans has been overwhelming. Like, it has been insane. I have people asking to show me around. I have people offering to take me out on a boat. I have people offering to take me to their favorite restaurants. And that is beautiful. Like, there generally isn't any words to describe it, and I am overwhelmed with love, and I really do. Like, to everybody, I really appreciate that. And if you want to see more adventures of me in America, drop me a follow.
So he's loving it. He's loving it. So the World Cup is here, and listen to this. This is amazing.
I cannot speak English, but I'm excited!
We don't have these kind of stadiums in Europe. No way. And it's air conditioned. It's very good.
Texas is good. Everything is big.
It's refreshing to see love for America. The fans really bringing the energy. And right in the middle of it all was NFL quarterback Jameis Winston. He helped Dutch fans get the party started in Dallas. And why not? A Scottish fan is one of our favorites after his reaction to NFL.
I want you to listen to this guy. This is a French guy. Listen to what he says.
Mesdames et messieurs, we need to talk about l'Amérique. As French, we need to stop saying Vive la France and start saying Vive l'Amérique. This place is incroyable. C'est incroyable. I just had Texas barbecue for the first time in my life. Poof. Better than any moment in my life. And I am married and have 2 kids. Oh, but in France you have des crêpes, les petits pains au chocolat, les croissants. No, I give my left croissant for a Texas brisket.
Good for you, sir. Good for you. They are loving it. But not only are they loving it, they're respecting it.
But it's like respect for everything, respect for the players, supporters, and also for the stadium. We're kind of honored to be here, so we don't want to make the mess and then leave it. So I think that's the reason why. That's the culture. The Japanese culture. Every single Japanese fan that was at the stadium, AT&T Stadium in Dallas, stayed after the game and cleaned the stadium. They went around with garbage bags and they picked up the trash. Not just their trash, everybody's trash. Meanwhile, did you see the state of New York after the Knicks game? It was completely trashed, literally and figuratively. It was trashed. Pretty amazing. Let's go to Dave in Spartanburg. Dave, welcome. How are you?
I'm good, Charlie. Hope you are.
Yes, sir.
You made a comment just a minute ago about all the experts in the audience. Now, I'll tell you, you do have a very smart audience, but when you have all these experts, it reminded me of a line in one of my favorite Kansas songs. If I claim to be a wise man, it surely means that I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that to you. I'm just going to share an observation from living over there and from what I've heard in reports.
Where did you live? Where did you live?
I lived in the glorious Sinai Desert for about 6 months, National Peacekeeping Forces and Observers.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, so I was there when they blew up the Marine barracks in Lebanon.
Oh, wow.
That's really when the War on Terror started. My book, only mistake Reagan ever made. But anyway, so the people in charge of the Arab nations, and that's all of them. It's not just Iran. Iran just beats their chest more and causes more problems. They would make Tammy Faye Baker blush in their hypocrisy. You notice that Scott Bessent is going after their kids' fancy cars and their villas in Europe. Those people take the money and they live the high life, the Western life. They don't give a fat baby's bottom about the Koran or anything else. It's all about their lifestyle. Now, when they get back in front of the people, the robes come on, the pious comes out, and they are very, oh yeah, Allah Akbar and all that. But when nobody's looking, those underneath those robes, they've got Armani suits, and they're just like anybody else. And that's why when Bessent went after their money, that's what got their attention. They don't care how many people that you kill. It's leave my Rolex alone. So it ought to make people rest a little bit easier, knowing that all this talk of the 12th Imam and all that plays well with the population, but that's a theocracy. They use religion to control the population.
Yep.
The people in charge are still motivated by the same sins as any Christian, and that's greed and the want of power. So, just let this thing play out. And I'm not so sure Trump's not doing all this because our good friends across the aisle, the Democrats, have threatened him with Nuremberg trials and war crimes.
Right.
And that after what they've done to that man, I would not put anything past them. So he's got to do everything he can to try to be the peacemaker. I don't believe he wants to kill kids or any of that collateral damage that's liable to happen in power plants and Bridge Day. But if it has to happen, he's the guy to do it. Anyway, thank you, Charlie. Great show as always.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Don't be man.
All right. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Get breaking news sent straight to your phone for free. Download the Odyssey app. Follow News Talk 98.9 WORD. Stay in the know with the voice of the Carolinas.
Interact on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line.
800-905-0989. Text or call. One number does it all.
800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go to the phones. We're going to talk to Robert in Mills River. How you doing, Robert?
How are you doing, Charlie?
Man, I'm so good I can't stand it. What's going on?
Well, I just want to give a shout out to that fella who hollered out in that crowd, you know, that Michelle Obama was a man.
Yeah, the fighter. Yeah.
I about fell out of my chair.
That was completely unexpected last night, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, that was good. That was probably the best part of it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
To me, it was, because it was a good shout out.
There you go. All right, Robert, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much. So Pamela Evett was supposed to be on with Bill Frazier today, I think at 1:35 or something like that. And apparently, at the last minute, she backed out. Now, Bill said that she had changed her mind. I don't know the reason that she backed out, but let me tell you something. The difference between radio and television, or the difference in the perception of radio and television, it seems like a lot of politicians don't have a problem with backing out of a radio interview. Now, television, because they're going to get the pretty faces on there, they'll do everything. They'll jump through hoops to do that. But no, it's just a radio. Let me tell you something. We reach more. We reach more people. You come on this program, listen to everybody. You come on this program, you come on Tara's program, you come on Frady's, anybody in the lineup. You are reaching the biggest audience that you are ever going to reach. I don't care how big of a rally. At one time, I don't care how big of a rally you have. I don't care what kind of a forum you have. I don't care. This is the way you reach the most people at one time. But they don't seem to mind to back out. They don't understand the work that it goes into. I kind of got a rule here. For every hour that I am on the air, I put in 2 hours minimum of work for that hour. 2 hours, that's minimum. That's just, I don't like to do minimum, but just all in all, that's the minimum amount of time you put in. So it's 8 hours plus you do the show. The show is not the work. The preparing for the show, that's the work. The show is the performance. That's it. So the execution of all the work that you've done. So it really frustrates me when people, now sometimes there are very good reasons for it, and you have to be prepared for that. Like when Nancy Mace's dad died. Exactly right. Things happen. We all know that. We're human beings too. It happens. But man, it is so aggravating. So aggravating. So, there you go. It's pretty amazing. All right, WRD Talk Line, 800-9050-989. Let's see. Somebody said, okay, here we go. Charlie, it's great to know. Let's see. It said, I'm still PO'd about the autism fraud in North Carolina because I live in North Carolina. I'm a single father. My son is autistic. I don't even own a house, and I can't get help on a program. I was wondering maybe if you could ask your audience if they know any programs. So you folks in North Carolina, you let me know. It's the fraud. The fraud is the reason that people that actually need these services cannot get them. I want you to listen to what Josh Hawley said. This is going to blow your mind.
Where's this money going? We know where some of it's going in Minnesota. It went overseas. It went to Somalia. It went to NGO fronts. We know where it's gone in some other states. California gave away billions of dollars to a pro-Hamas NGO. But $1 trillion nationally, where's this money going to?
I appreciate that question because most people don't ask that question. It goes to terrorism. It goes to child trafficking. It goes to drugs. It goes to terrorism. And then it's used to purchase luxury items, cars, purses, homes. That's all funded by people like me that pay taxes.
Exactly right. Do you know how much fraud we have? Do you know why they're investigating California, why they're investigating Minneapolis, why they're investigating Maine, why they're investigating North Carolina? The reality is that American taxpayers lose listen to this, $115 million an hour to fraud. $115 million an hour. Every single hour of the day to fraud. And it's been going on. Oh, my gosh, how long has it been going on? It's been going on for decades. Absolutely decades. Pretty amazing. Let's go to Richard in Dallas. Richard, welcome.
Thank you, Charlie. Listen, what you just said, if it weren't for all the fraud in this country, I wonder what our actual debt would be. You know, it's like
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's like 37 trillion, right? Without all that fraud, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Listen,
it's amazing, isn't it?
It's so frustrating for people that's trying to do right, and we got all these people that's just scamming and getting away with it. I don't know if anybody will be held much accountable for it.
Lord, some people have. One woman just went to jail for like 40 years.
Yeah, well, listen, I was wanting to ask you about Mrs. Guthrie.
Oh, Savannah Guthrie, yeah.
Yes, sir. I heard that they possibly discovered some remains. I mean, have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, there was a report that she was buried in a grave just on the south side of our border. But they started looking over there, and they found several graves of people that were buried over there. So we don't have any confirmation that any of them were Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering about, Charlie.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I'd heard something, but I didn't know. And I said, well, let me see what Charlie knows, okay?
There you go. That's it. You're right about that. I appreciate it, Richard. Thank you. Let's go to Tracy in Asheville. How you doing, Tracy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. What's up?
Well, I wanted to tell you what's going on with both political parties.
Okay.
We have had, over time, people have punched out the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, and they've registered independent, and independent is bigger than, I believe now it's gotten bigger than both parties added together in terms of registration. Now, they are not organized.
Right.
But the problem is, it's like if you put a boiling pot of water on the stove and it boils out. Well, the boiling out has been people leaving the Democrats, leaving the Republicans, and after a while, what you got left is just minerals and stuff in the bottom. The Democrats, what's left in their boiling pot is a bunch of lunatics. And the Republicans have conservatives as left in their part of the boiling pot. However, the difference is this. Republicans expect more out of people, and we will kick them out. We clean our own barn. They do not. They're just so terrified of losing one person. But that's what's happened here, and they got the nuts, and we have responsible people, and that's where it's at right now.
There you go. I'm not doubting you one little bit, Tracy. I appreciate it. But, boy, the left, they've gone crazy, haven't they? If you look at a Democrat just 20 years ago and a Democrat today, you go, oh, wow, that's a huge difference. But is it? Because if you look at how long Chuck Schumer, look how long Bernie Sanders, look how long Nancy Pelosi, those people have gone they're all in on it. They're all in on it. Let's go to Elizabeth in Anderson. How you doing, Elizabeth?
Hey, I'm doing great. I appreciate you taking my call,
Yes, ma'am.
Charlie. You had a lady call in earlier about the runoff we have over here for our House seat.
Right.
And she said some things that were maybe not accurate and at the very least disparaging toward the incumbent, Don Chapman. I just, if it's okay, I'd like to say a couple things.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, well, Don is from Anderson, and he came up very humbly and funded his own education with help from the community. And then he did really well and built his own business with his wife. And I think because of that background, he gives back to this community in every way he can. He served on our city council during the time that set the stage for the business growth we're experiencing now. He really, Charlie, and everybody listening, gives back in every way he can. in small ways. Anytime a constituent calls, he either helps them or helps them understand why he came. He's the most available politician I've ever known, and I've known a lot of them. He also gives back with his talents because he's an architect. He just helped build and design our new cancer association out of the goodness of his heart, and that will save lives. So I don't even know anything hardly about his opponent, just that she's from California. That's about all I know. I know that she has said some wrong and unkind things, and I wanted to say that the real Don Chapman is an asset to our community, and we need to keep him. So thank you.
Okay. I appreciate it, Elizabeth. Thank you. But then again, I got to wonder why he's got a 35 Freedom Index score. All right, we'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour, every afternoon on The Charlie James Show.
News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Me coming.
Charlie Speaks. You listen on your time. Get the show on demand. Text podcast to 800-905-0989. The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go back to the phones. We'll talk to Chuck in Mills River. How you doing, Chucko?
I'm doing all right, but I've just got probably the same question that everybody else has on their mind right now, and that's, what the hell is wrong with these liberals? Don't want to fight. Well, they don't want to watch a fight. I'm sorry, Charlie. You know I love a good fight. You know I love a good fight.
Right.
You know I love a good fight. So, and all Americans, as George Patton, love the sting of battle. We love to watch a fight. But I've come down to one, I guess, theory, that a hypothesis maybe, if you will. I think that they don't want anybody to have any fun at all ever.
Yes. No, you're exactly right. And they hate to see us enjoying ourselves.
They hate it when they see us happy. They hate it.
Yes.
And I think that's one reason they're pro-abortion so much, is because they're afraid these babies are going to grow up and have some fun.
Yeah.
So let's kill them in the womb so they won't grow up to have any fun. Because I'm telling you what, man, there's nothing more fun than I love boxing. I love me some boxing.
Yeah.
I never get to watch it. And I didn't get to watch Saturday's main event or anything like that, but still, it's a fight. And, I mean, come on. Abraham Lincoln was a boxer.
Yeah.
Come on. And wasn't it Teddy Roosevelt? Didn't he put up a boxing ring in the White House, I think?
I believe so, yeah.
And, it's un-American not to want to watch a fight. It's just un-American. Americans love to watch. I have never seen any. Why do you think all these people watching these fights in New York and stuff break out? They're watching and they're recording it with their phone. They're not getting in there trying to break it up. It's because everybody loves to watch a fight.
Yeah.
It's just, except for liberals. Liberals just,
they hate it. They hate it.
Well, anyway, I hope you had a really lovely weekend.
I had a great weekend, Chuck. Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, I spent mine under a Pontiac, so there you have it. Nobody showed up with any beer or even Crown Royal.
Oh,
Can you
man.
believe that?
Oh.
Yeah, they're not. Mills River people are pretty smart.
You ought to hang out with me a little bit more. All right, buddy, I appreciate it. So he's right about that. They hate us having fun. They hated the Freedom 250 at the White House. Oh, they hated that. They don't like you being happy. They don't like anybody being happy because they're not happy. They're not. They are miserable. And you know what? You know what your joy and your happiness proves to them? That their lives are miserable. And they hate that about you. They hate that you can get out there, and they hate that you can go to work and you can put in a good day's work and you can come home and you can spend time with your family and you can enjoy your yard and you can enjoy your grill out back and you can enjoy your steak and you can do all of these wonderful things. They hate that about you. They want you to be just as miserable as they are. And they can't stand it. So how were they celebrating during the Freedom 250? Well, they were doing ridiculous stuff like this.
No one is getting left behind this time. No one is getting left behind. Not this time. No one is getting left behind.
Yeah, oh boy. Oh boy. And then we had Bette Midler.
Oh, you fascists bound to lose. You're bound to lose. You fascists bound to lose. Hey there, all you fascists. Let me put you straight. When you come for the rest of us, we'll fight you at the gate and you will lose. You fascists bound to lose.
Oh boy, that was awful. That was horrible. That really was bad. And then they hate you. They hate you for it. Let's go to Richard in Dallas. Richard, what's up, man?
hey, they don't want to fight us, Charlie. You understand?
Yeah.
Because we won't be the ones losing. You know, listen, I wanted to holler back out there at Chuck about. He said he was under a Pontiac all weekend.
Right.
Chuck, you know what they say about Pontiacs, don't you? Every now and then you got to pull over and let them act up. I mean, that's what.
That's just how they go. That's just how they do. Yeah. All right. I appreciate it, buddy. But speaking of the left hating things, I just played for you those clips of all of these people from all over the world coming to America, and they love it. They love it. But what about Robert De Niro? Does he love it?
The phrase, we all love our country, stuck in my throat. Because our country isn't so lovable right now. I hate to say it, but loving our country is starting to sound like an abused spouse saying they love their abuser. I can't love a country that's led by a racist, misogynist, xenophobic tyrant. And let me just say it.
Nah, I know. You just say it. You just don't love America. You don't love the country that made you a multimillionaire by going to watch your crappy movies. That's the thing about Hollywood. They're not spreading joy anymore because they don't have anybody in Hollywood that knows what joy is. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Streaming stimulating talk and breaking news on your phone 24/7 on the Odyssey app. You're on the drive with the Charlie James Show.
News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Let your fingers do the talking.
Text the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line at 800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, welcome back to the program. Let's go to Roger in Taylor's. How you doing, Roger?
Mr. Hole-in-One Charlie.
You know what? It was 2 years ago yesterday that I got my hole-in-one.
Yeah.
It was the anniversary.
Last week was brutal working outside.
Yeah.
And today it was great.
Yeah, it's nice.
Tomorrow's going to be great. Humidity's going to be low. You keep me company when I'm out there soaking wet.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate that. I'm going to tell you, all these people, and the morning show does it a little bit too, they're all over Trump. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene comes out. He said 38 times, we've got a deal.
Yeah.
They know as much about what's going on as I do. I'll tell you what I do every day. I pray the Lord will keep our president safe.
Yep.
And that they won't kill him. And
Yeah.
I don't know who they are, but to keep him safe. And I pray that he's doing the right thing with this Iran deal. And we may not know for years if it's going to be right or wrong, but I pray he's doing the right thing. And I tell the Lord, because I do not know what's right or wrong. We're not in his situation.
Yeah.
And if we could have one person on our side doing this, I believe he would be the right one. And then you hear the people complaining. People may be getting a little frustrated because of the time period. Listen, not too many people use more gas than I do.
Yeah.
But it's still cheaper than it was under Biden.
Yep. Still is. You're right. You're right, Roger. It's amazing.
Yes,
keep
sir.
those prayers up, pal. Appreciate it. All right. There was another stabbing in England. A immigrant stabbed a 17-year-old girl in the neck in Burley, England. Those people, they about to rise up. They are about to rise up. Listen to this. In Sweden, did you know that Sweden, they decided they were going to invite all of these people from all of these Muslim countries into Sweden. And guess what they got in return? They got the second highest rate in all of Europe. Second highest. Number one, not surprisingly, the UK. The UK's rate of rape is 104.93 rapes per 100,000 inhabitants. Sweden, 84.66 rapes per 100,000. Go down to Poland, 1.36. You know why Poland's rape rate is so low? They don't allow immigrants. That sounds pretty good. So now in Sweden, I think they have made a bit of a U-turn here. Coming up on July 12th, the Swedish parliament has passed a government bill to end permanent residence permits, which will offer a vastly stricter approach to the country's immigration policy. Under the new legislation, the government eliminates the possibility of granting permanent residence permits to asylum seekers and other immigrant groups specified in the reform. This is huge because of the escalating violence that is tied to criminal networks and the cost of mass immigration. Recent data, showed that Scandinavian nations like Denmark and Sweden are spending billions on their migrant populations. Hey, us too. But so you think they're going to be known as racist? You think they're going to be known as Islamophobist? Who knows? Maybe. But I think Sweden has finally come to realize. Did you know that they have a bombing in Sweden every single week? It happens so often they don't even report it on the news anymore. That literally happens. Every single week, a bomb blows up somewhere. And I'll guarantee you it's not the Swedish people doing it. So Sweden finally coming around, finally seeing that, understanding that multiculturalism never works. It never works. Because if you have true multiculturalism, then you have to have different laws for every different culture. Over in England, You can't carry a knife unless you're a Sikh. Then Sikhs can carry knives. Sikh stabbed that kid to death. Maybe they'll wise up too. All right, folks, are going to get out of here. We will see you back here bright and early tomorrow. Don't forget, we got the gubernatorial debate coming up tomorrow night. We'll talk about it. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of nonstop breaking news and stimulating